Hey everyone, Miacidae here. Welcome back to Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. So we just finished up in Kiava Gamma, finishing up the last few fights, fighting a Chaos Space Marine, and then the, well, I forget what his title was, but essentially the leader of this place, which was, he turned himself into this big chaos machine, which is kind of a fun fight. He tried to make two of these Forged Fiends, but I got to use some chaos powers to turn one to my side, which was kind of fun. And then, so like, it turned on him, I didn't have to fight it. And then Argenta and Heinrix here wouldn't let me take it aboard my ship. So I'm kind of sad about that, but it is what it is. We got some really nice upgrades. And now we get to leave. Stop. Before we go further, I must investigate this level of the manufacturing. We have not yet examined this area sufficiently thoroughly for the purposes of my mission. Okay, so let's go check everything again. I thought we were done here, bud. Like, what else do you need? I thought we figured out that this is, like, covered in chaos. There was a Chaos Space Marine. We got the thing from the computer, which had a poison pool in here. Yeah. That just powered the door. That's a nothing. So what do you still need in here?
I tread a path unexplored.
Oh. For some reason, this entire section is now unexplored. Even though I thought, yeah, this is where we fought the other tech priest dude. Eerie makeshift adore. Yeah, we've done all this. No, but it says we haven't gone over here. So I suppose let's get looking as a just in case, even though I'm pretty sure we have gone over here. Because this is where we got one of our wheels. And we came down here and we fought. Yeah, this is like all of our... This is where we fought another tech priest and then one of his rust fiends. Mishmash of wire.
True power.
We can go back up that way if need be. Like, we've covered the map. What are we missing, dude? That was the blood pools in the cauldron. I'm trying to, like, tag anything I can so he's, like, satisfied. But at this point, I don't know what would satisfy him. Do I go up here because of the athletics?
An expected result.
But this just puts me back at the steam vents.
The world.
Is there something on these computers? No. Can athletics down here?
Compared to naval service, that was barely a challenge.
Okay, look at the... Voxmaster is awaiting me. Companion quest, Heartless Void. Heinrix possesses information about the plans of some cult of the Final Dawn, plans connected to industrial Kiava Gamma. Future struggle against the cult will depend upon the results of his search, which is the reason for his joining the Rogue Trader's retinue. The acquired data is enough to suggest theory about a crucial role of the cognitor in the cult's plan It would be wise to find the machine immediately and conduct a threat analysis. According to the Lux mechanic, the entrance to the chambers containing conductor is somewhere in the manufacture room. I thought we already did that. Unless it's like right here. We did that. Your logs. Yeah, we've done all this.
Intriguing.
We found that stuff in a secret compartment even. So I suppose let's do a once-over. Anything on this computer? No. Anything on this one? Doesn't look like it. And athletics over with 100%.
Experience?
Unexplored.
Nothing matters more.
Not sure what's on this one. Step away from it. That, I think, was for the cart over there. If I go through here, there's nothing, right? Just more symbols. Nothing down here. This would just turn this so I can go up here easier.
The world will bow.
This was a secret vault, but we got everything from this. Like, I thought we would just kind of be done with Kiava Gamma. So much for that thought. I thought we got what you wanted, Heinrix. Is it this weird computer? No.
Let's seize the opportunity.
Because otherwise, what he wants, I think, was from this computer.
Do you require inquisitorial approval?
So you can go to this computer again, because this is what the chip was from. Yeah, like, there's nothing left here. And we looked at all these logs. There wouldn't stupidly be, like, a computer right in here I'm missing?
Embrace true
That would be odd, but I wouldn't put it behind something. Like, the Lux mechanic was supposed to give me something that I thought he gave me a note, which probably would have been on something like this. But either when he gave me that note or whatnot, I thought it was weird that he never marked anything on my map, and I never got an item. Give me a moment. I'm just gonna look this one up because I think it's glitched. Okay, so let's go back here. I'm in the very wrong place for this. Possibly. Like, I've done this a few times now. Why does the map keep going weird? Where I need to be is... I think up here. Oh, okay. Do we need to go south? So, the thing he was talking about was right here. I just had to turn this little bridge, and I never saw that.
The world
Go inside.
will bow.
See what's in here. Manufacturum of Kiava Gamma. Let's have some fun. Surely nothing will go wrong in here, right? What on the unholy hell is that? Console? Screen of the cognitor shows a scrolling line repeating technolingua, staring at... Yeah, we're not going to get much out of that. Okay. Oh no, are the blobs going to break out? Numerous wires and pipes run into the filthy cages, which are filled with what looks like a conglomeration of human bodies. You cannot make out who was in the cage, but bright blue sparks flash intermittently in the darkness, while the mass of flesh twitches and shudders. Heinrix casts a scrutinizing eye over one of the cages before withdrawing his weapon and approaching to examine what lies inside. Careful, Heinrix. Look at it. He gestures towards the cage. Through the bars, you see that it truly is a pile of bodies, or something that used to be. The monstrously deformed bodies have fused together in places, while others were severed using saws and knives, leaving wounds seeping pus and slime, wounds that are aggregating and sprouting tendons. Rods connecting wires that run to a nearby cognitor bristle across the flesh. One of the human heads turns towards you. Mercy. They're all thinking. Mercy. Make it stop. Even attempting to speak causes the mutant pain, but he bears the agony and forces out the words. Can we medicate this? You examine the pulsating mass of flesh. The creature in the cage must be compressed of several bodies joined together. You see no sutures or any other means by which the separate parts could have been connected. Among the layers of meat, you discern large knots of muscle, various limbs, exposed bone, parts of faces, entire heads. Only warp sorcery is capable of creating such an abomination while preserving its ability to live on. What is this? Heinrix takes in his surroundings once again, fixes his attention on the contents of the nearest cage. I'm beginning to have some idea. The Lux mechanic mentioned that the inhabitants of the lower levels who had been imprisoned in their homes, he said some of them were brought here. The cultists did something to the poor people in their home, and now they are studying the result. The Lux mechanic talked about some kind of slag waste disposal and chaos symbols on machines. What are the Archenemy's minions doing to people on the lower levels? To know the workings of dark sorcery means allowing corruption into oneself. These are warp mutations, no doubt. Perhaps there was some side effect and that's why they were brought here, to be connected, and sensors and cognitors, even fallen tech priests have rejected the Omnissiah, are driven by perverted hunger of knowledge. Have you seen anything like this before? I've seen a great deal, Rogue Trader. That includes mutations caused by the sorcery of chaos, but what frightens me most is not their repulsive form, but what's hiding beneath it. A human soul in torment. Chaos never forgets to ensure its victims retain the ability to suffer. Oh. They're people, monstrously mutated, but still people. Yes, this is what warp sorcery has done to them. To be precise, I've seen many mutants whose features have been distorted under the effects of the Archenemy, but this is something beyond all imagining. And why are they hooked up to the cognitors? Lingua Technis. Corrupted by the scrap code, I'm sure. It's unlikely we'll be able to extract anything from value from the data crypts. Thinking, he clenches his fist and bites down on a knuckle, then recoils when a mutant from the nearest cage reaches out a hand through the bars at him. You promised us. A female face watches you from within the gloom of the cage. Even half of her head has been turned into a mess of bones with lumpen growths. Her single eye looks at you with a surprising amount of intelligence. Her words are echoed by the others within the depths of the cages. Heinrix leans towards the cage, but at a sufficient distance to ensure that they cannot reach him. Who are you talking to? What did they promise you? Who are they? You took us from the inferno. You promised us a reward. You. Her face contorts into a grimace. This creature's lips are stuck together like melted wax. They can still speak. They remember the people who did this to him. Heinrix balls his fist into a powerful rage, then frowns in thought. Perhaps a little biomancy will allow us to draw the fragments of knowledge out of them, or it will trigger further changes. Not missing Pascal's sober interest in proceedings, which he dutifully records in a data slate, Abelard raises a brow. Esteemed Magos, these are your comrades. If I may ask, do you feel compassion for them? Or at least regret? Regret for the losses that these poor people represent the Adeptus Mechanicus? Negative. What I am currently observing is not my tech comrades, but their merely biological functioning remains fashioned into a specimen of unnatural perversion of technology. I am under no directives to feel affinity for such specimens. Heinrix, let this go. You're prolonging their suffering. You're wrong. This is our chance to find out more. Extracting some good from the suffering is the only thing that will justify the torment of these unfortunate people. This is how they can serve the throne one last time. What are you going to achieve by that? Like, you could make it up 10 times worse. Heinrix wavers for another moment and then leans over the cognitors. Each mutant has cables attached. I may not know the nature of these machines, but it isn't too difficult to increase the voltage. Ah, the switch here. Well, I mean, that's one way to fry them. At least you put them out of their misery. It seems like he's getting somewhat of, like, a human soul to him. You hear the crackle of electricity, the wires glow with blue sparks, and the creatures locked in the cages drop lifelessly to the floor. The sharp tang of burned meat hangs in the air. Oh, I can only imagine how bad that smells. That's that then, but do you know what bothers me, Rogue Trader? The number of people here. There are too few. The lower levels of similar manufacturings are inhabited by millions. What happened to the rest of them? I know I won't like the answer. Let's go. We still haven't done what we came here to do. Oh. Yeah, what's happened to the rest of them?
Embrace true power.
This place is steeped in corruption, which means that it must be cleansed with fire down to the last crevice.
I agree, Argenta.
Sister, tame your fervor. Your zeal is laudable, but first I must ascertain the intentions of the archenemy, not crush its manifestations without a second thought.
Okay, what's in here? Okay, there's the data vault. Is there anything else in here? It doesn't look like it. Go to the data vault. The massive cognitor grows out of the metal bulkheads like a grotesque tumor. A hollow roar sounds from deep within the metal housing. Whatever spurred the computer into action, it has enough power to supply a small command center. As soon as your eyes fall upon the cognitor, you feel a tingling in your temples. Every nook, every compartment of the machine radiates with a sense of wrongness. That one is difficult to explain, but no less palatable for that. It's as though the construct itself defies the laws of physics and perspective. Stop. That is a creation of the Archenemy. Don't go near it. You have done enough for me and my mission. Don't put yourself at risk now. Why is he... I'm kind of concerned. Like, why is he suddenly like, no, don't? Oh, he's gonna get next to it. Even he knows it's wrong. As soon as Heinrix takes another step towards the cognitor, it emits a deafening shriek like hundreds of metal needles driving into toughened glass. Oh, just the description of that sound makes... Oh. Like nails on a chalkboard times 1,000. As though sensing the stranger, wincing, Heinrix approaches the control panel and bends down towards the screen. Despite the heat clogging the room, you feel an ice-cold breeze. Heinrix is clearly using his psychic abilities to try to fend off the effects of the chaos artifact. The Omnissiah's grace has not touched this object. The mechanism was not desecrated, but born flawed and unnatural. Iron, most profane. Initiating observation log. Let not fear stand in the path of knowledge. Nope, we're approaching this thing. Heinrix is too engrossed in his examination of the control panel to stop you. You draw closer to the side screen of the Cognitor's housing, which has several thick cables running from it. With each step towards the flickering screens, you feel the Cognitor is watching you with rapidly blinking eyes. Grow stronger and stronger. Up close, you see that besides buttons, switches, and toggles, the Cognitor casing is also covered in strange writing. Study the screens, let's logic that. Succeeded. The Cognitor displays a wall of text on its screens. The string of symbols is senseless mix of numbers, formulas, and unfamiliar characters. There seems to be no logic to it, and yet there is no doubt the Cognitor is computing calculations on a prodigious scale. Can we lore warp that? 60% somehow succeeded. Kind of surprised. One glance enough to tell you that these are chaos runes. Within lurks a grim threat to mind and soul. You hastily avert your eyes, trying to wipe the foul symbols from your mind. Okay, what do the cables tell us? A bundle of cables is coming from the broken side panel of the Cognitor. They were clearly added after the machine came off the manufacturer's production line. The wires snake along the floor and disappear inside the maintenance hatch that leads somewhere down below. Okay, we can step back. You take a step backwards, and suddenly one of the Cognitor's screens change colors, becoming a bright yellow. Your eyes are helplessly drawn to the bilious hue. Willpower succeeded. You sharply turn away from the screen, and you can almost feel invisible shackles falling away. The realization comes a moment later. You were not fighting against your own curiosity, but someone's malevolent will, which has now lost its hold on you. Wait for him to do what he needs to do. A minute passes, then another. You watch Heinrix examine the Cognitor. His eyes scan the screens, his hands darting from reel to lever, and sometimes hovering uncertainly over the next switch, which immediately receives a coating of frost. At some point you hear his voice, almost a whisper, barely audible above the clanging, roaring machine. Sacrifices, more and more every minute. He looks at you, his eyes darken out, appearing almost black in his white face. Hecacomb, the womb of this cursed machine is down below in the lower levels. The auxiliary illuminator controls the system for delivering molten waste under the manufacturer's main building. The Cognitor is fueled by the energy harnessed from thousands of people who are flowing beneath our feet as slag waste as we speak. But I cannot even imagine the reason for sacrificing all these people. It's inconceivable. Now we know what the Fabricator sensor prized this monster so highly. The cursed tech priest and his associates created something that went beyond the limits of the Omnissiah's power. The machine is designed to process myriad possibilities using warp sorcery. It has almost finished its task. It predicts the future. How is that even possible? Do not attempt to gain any insight into the essence of the machines corrupted by the archenemy, at least not if you value your soul. I have encountered the heretics' mechanical abominations before. To truly fathom their nature is to allow a particle of death into your heart. But the fruit they bear, no matter how abhorrent their instruments they bear, the fruit they bear could be useful. No, the cult's filthy ravings are not worth that. What we can extract from the storage drives will be enough. Yeah, Iconoclast, stop the Cognitor for the sake of the people down there. Heinrix shakes his head as though clearing away mental fog. I almost succumbed to the archenemy's old trick, the lure of the unattainable, the primary of all traps that chaos sets for the unwary souls. Heinrix's movements are exact and purposeful. Unlike his earlier operation of the Cognitor, one after another, the Cognitor's screens begin to fade to black, and the roaring comes from the inside of the machine, quietens to a barely perceptible howl, in which you imagine are notes of dejection. we turned it off. Heinrix bends over the keys and flinches as if from an electrical shock. His head snaps back unnaturally and you see his lips moving. The cognitor lets out a roar that grows louder by the second. Oh! There was a demon in there.
Let us savor the coming storm.
Alright, what do we got? A Screamer of Zenith. RG. Go right here. Oh, no, that's Cassia. RG can go right here. Pascal right here. Abelard, get right up in combat, and I think we're good. We are going to front line. Right here, everyone will be in front line.
Lord Captain.
Killzone stratagem.
Not accustomed to being ordered around.
Voice of command, Argenta.
Job for the Serfs.
Air of authority on Argenta.
If you
We still have 2, so we're going to bring it down on Argenta. She now has 3 AP. Furious Recital for more damage. We are going to probably control shot. Oh no, we're not. We can just hit the Screamer. So what we're going to do is concentrated fire for the damage after we do confident approach, so we always crit. Concentrated fire, additional damage reduction, additional damage, 120% additional damage. And then everything, 8 shots into the Screamer of Zenith. All of them critting like that. And it's almost dead. Then RG gets to go again. And, single shot. It's dead. I think those are the cables of it, too. That was rather easy. Heinrix stares at the smoldering ashes of the demon. Then at the destroyed cognitor. The furrow over his brow smooths out. His face looks almost content. The creation of chaos is no more. I hope Fabricator Sensor did not have time to pass the secrets of this creature to his associates. And I hope the survivors down on the lower levels can hold on until we liberate Kiava Gamma. I saw something happen to you. What happened when you touched the machine? We'll talk about it later, but right now, I must thank you. Without your help and cooperation, I doubt I would have reached the depths of Kiava Gamma and learned the troops behind my agent's dispatches and reports. I would never have ended up here, and I would never have succeeded in hampering the cult's activities. Is that gratitude from Heinrix? Dare I hope, esteemed interrogator, that your keen interest in this Von Valencius world has been satisfied? Oh, apart from the fact that the world is still seized by the Arch-Enemy's corruption, its populace is infected with heresy, and once sacred machines of the manufacturing have been turned into weapons against humanity, yes, quite satisfied. My business on Kiava Gamma is concluded. It's time to return to the mission that brought me here to the industrial world. The only thing I'll ask of you is an audience when we return to the ship. He bows his head to signal that the conversation is over. No loot from the demon. Darn. But we can talk to him on the bridge, which I'm assuming is going to be the whole, hey, we're done, do with me what you will, like, you can kick me up the ship now, or all that jazz. Alright. So I can return to the void ship from one of 2 different ways. I'll just go the way that's easier. And go out the way I came in. Get rid of some of these traumas and these old injuries while I'm at it. Oh, what happens on our way out? Is someone waking up? Who are you? Sharp pain pierces your head. The light dims in your eyes. You smell smoke and burning. You feel a wave of nausea. Your legs buckle. Your knees hit metal floor. In that same moment, the manufacturer surrounding you disappears in the whirlwind of mist, ash, and gray shadow. Struggling against the elements, you can barely raise your head to look, your eyes sting and burn, but through tears you see a colossal silhouette rising above you. The roaring tempest is unable to shake the mighty figure. Awareness, yeah, we got the 100. Take a better look. I was gonna say, is that an orc? But no, that's a Chaos Marine. A very, a named one at that. Urulom the Cruel. You squint and wipe away the tears, and for a moment your vision clears. Oh, look at all the chains around us. Before you stands a mighty giant clad in dark power armor and lavishly adorned with bas-reliefs of snarling demonic silhouettes and punctured with prayer scrolls. 2 braziers are mounted behind his shoulders, burning with unnatural blue flames and emitting thick black smoke that curls and twists upward like a funnel. Behind the giant, you catch a brief glimpse of a crumpled figure bound in chains. Okay. The warrior's inhuman eyes bore into you. I am the master of those who have been felled by your hand in the halls of the primordial truth. I am Urulon the Cruel. The souls of my followers have returned to the fount of power they served, crying out for me to cast my gaze towards this sacrilege. And what do I see? Yet another lackey of the corpse emperor. The giant's voice causes the storm raging around you to die down somewhat, as the very sound of his voice is enough to make the whirlwind subside. You glance at the huge warrior and notice that his chest is a winding azure symbol. The shades of blue seem to glimmer and mingle together. Yeah, this is my world. I am the sovereign of Kiava Gamma, and it's my world, not a dominion of chaos. Oh, clinging to illusions will do you no good. The rituals have already been performed. The mortals are already singing the litanies of the primordial truth or decorating sacrificial altars with their flesh. Kiava Gamma, as you call it, is already saturated in the nectar of the truth, a fate that awaits all worlds that stand in our way. So where have you taken me? Where are we? This is the bridge that connects our minds, created by the will of my slave, those whose fate you should be envying. The Psyker is useful enough to me to be left alive. Oh, is that, I forget his name, but the guy who, tried to take out, Theodora and technically didn't get Theodora and then created the Chaos Spawn in the tutorial. So what do you want with me? I want to look upon the one who has disrupted my flock's duties and my master's plan. So he's not the master, but then again, he's probably just a higher up space marine. That warrior from my legion, the fabricator censor, you'd think of their deaths as a triumph. However, it is but a minor hindrance on our path. There are other worlds that serve our goals. There are other sources of plasteel and adamantine. Revel in your victory. It will change nothing. Nevertheless, the blood in your veins whispers to the spirits that you warrant a closer look. Yes, you are the descendant of the rogue trader whose warrant Conrad Voigtvager, yeah, that guy, sought to obtain by defiling the relic and binding it to himself with tethers of the Imperium. He was meant to become my servant, a rogue trader who would do work of the truth, but then you interfered. Could it be that you wish to gain the true God's favor instead? Do you wish to present the corpse relic to me and serve the truth? Hear your very blood calling, begging to submit to me. What will be the point of futile defiance? It'd be awesome if we could rise to our feet and just kind of spit in his face. I'm gonna try it. Willpower failed. You strain every muscle in your body but cannot move an inch. The dark will presses down on your shoulders, forbidding you from even straightening your back. So let's go Iconoclast. You waste your time trying to tempt me. It is not blood that defines a person's deeds. Only their will does, and my will is thus. Be gone. Pitiful insect, do you dare? Yeah, I dare. A gust of wind sweeps Urlan's figure away without a trace. The mist around you begins to dissipate, revealing the dark halls of the manufacturer and leaving behind an oppressive sense of powerlessness. That was a close call. For the sake of holy terror, if I had lost a second rogue trader in such a paltry span of time, my only up... Yeah, we're not reading that. Abelard, we're not reading that. I sensed the presence of another psyker. Someone made contact with you mentally, then tried to harm you with sorcery. I did what I could. You at least appear unharmed. Can you remember what you saw? It was a Chaos Space Marine. One of the traitors of the Imperium. I don't think it was he who touched your mind. I wouldn't have had the strength to go up against a psyker from those ranks of monsters. He might have forced some mortal to do his bidding. Perhaps it was through the same hapless medium that he sensed the deaths of his henchmen. Such indescribable power. To have reached out to your mind at such a distance. He said something about Theodora, about how the blood in my veins will lead me to serve chaos. Sister Argento, who has been watching all this intently, grows pale and makes a sign of the Aquila to ward off evil. Heinrix stares at you, whether in surprise or anger, you do not know, and then he gives a curt nod. I see. We can theorize later, although I will say that his words do not leave much room for interpretation. The manufacturer around you looks the same as before the vision. Maybe the shadows have grown a little deeper and darker, but you dust yourself off and continue your journey through the darkness. So back to the ship. Which leaves us what we want to do with Kiava Gamma. The industrial world's heart has fallen to corruption, but numerous faint Vox signals from the periphery indicate that the planet's small manufacturing clusters survived without succumbing to the heretics. The sacred machines and hollow lathes from the abodes have been reverently transported to the safety of the ship's holds. The fate of Kiava Gamma holds in the balance. We got 3 ancient machineries. I'm not sure what these are. Just void pirate cargo holes. Ancient... that's void pirate stuff. So I can purify Kiava Gamma, no matter the cost. Either way, I get the mobile extractium or I can get mobile extractium and howler cannons if I go heretical. Those macro cannons look kinda good, but I don't really like that. So this one's a rough one because if I go Iconoclast, there's gonna be Chaos Worshippers still there. And, like, there's gonna be altars and stuff there still. And a lot of bad stuff. If I go Dogmatic, there's a better chance that some of the Chaos Taint and all that jazz gets wiped away. But so many more innocents get destroyed. So I think I'm going to go Iconoclast because that's what we've been going with. And just have it bite me in the butt later. Ooh, I get 3 mechanisms for that, which is something I've been short on. 3 weapons, 3 adamantine, and that's all stuff for up here for like trading. And building my colonies and stuff. So that's not like trading weapon, or the like cargo weapons. 2 adamantine, which stuff I was short on, and 2 phlogiston, and 15 iconoclast points. The blast furnaces are lit again. Machines once more fill the air with screeches and squeals. The mag trains of wagons stretch in lines from one workshop to the next, but the Cognitor's binaric chants carry alarming rumors of malevolent and foul traces of corruption still lurking in the deepest chambers of the manufacturum. Okay. And we get to see what we can do here. So I don't really care about the Hand of Xenocide here, because I don't use... I suppose if I had this axe on someone else, like Abelard, or even if it is a power weapon, anyone else, it could be really good. I was just thinking, oh, I need to reject the flush on it though. So this would need to go to Pascal, and I don't use Pascal in melee, so I can cut out Calculating Holiness. Dark Messiah. Or Marchesa. 18 to 23 damage. The wielder gains +1 stack of Marchesa's Thirst when scoring a critical hit with this weapon and 3 stacks when killing a target with this weapon. Upon reaching 5 stacks, the wielder gains an additional attack until the end of the turn. Once this is triggered, that could be really good. Or if I go for Restoration, I just get Cursed Boots, which I don't really care about. So Blessed are the Weaponsmiths are probably the best thing here. And that would give me more mechanisms, weapons, and security. Or I would also kind of like Profit Factor, but I don't think it's worth losing that potential of a weapon. Although we have a kind of goated weapon on... Oh, we leveled again. Him already, don't we? We got this 22 to 30. So I don't think I'm going to get rid of the Glow of the Dead Stars, but what I could do is give that to someone else. Where's Colony Management? Oh, and then Dirty Bureaucracy is done as well. But Kiava Gamma here, let's just do Blessed are the Weaponsmiths because I don't have much weapons or mechanics here either. And then Security go up. And we can go from there. Janus, Cure for Sloth is done. Gives me heretical points. And requirements not met. So, like, I need more with Casabella for that one. I need more with the Explorers. I think I might be able to get this, actually. Then I can just keep getting the Cherugian sets. Foulstone. Can kind of get whatever here. Let's do Indulgences for sale, because that just gets me a straight Profit Factor and Fellowship of the Void up. Unless something else gets me Profit Factor. It does not look like it. And then I'm going to go aboard the ship and see if I can't get some Explorator's reputation, because it needs to be above that or a Casabellica. So above 5,600 something or above 19,000. And I'm sure we got a lot of stuff to sell because of Kiava Gamma there. Hey, Danrock. Transportation of some good. Explorators we really haven't done much with. So reputation, we need a lot. They like holy gifts. I'm still kind of unhappy about the fact that we really can't make these stack better, but that is what it is. I kind of wanted to keep a stack of everything at 100% if I could. So let's just do this quick. We have some armor kits. We have ranged weaponry to sell them. We have provisions that we can do. We have some fuel kits. We have miscellaneous. And then if I sell like one more thing, so I kind of wanted to keep the heretical trophies, but if we get rid of that, we have enough for the colony management. Oh, can I do 2 of these at once? No. Okay. So Janus here. Capella Biologists. Oh, this blocks Dark Sages though, so is that worth it? That is not worth it. So I had to lose the 4 profit factor. Yikes, I should not have done that. Can I very quickly get like 19,000 with the Casabellica? That wouldn't have been hard to get before, but it might be now. Xeno artifacts. So by cost. Okay. We can still get the Casabellica one. And while we're here, we might as well get everything that they can give me. Not that I'm going to be using most of this, but like, just buy all the stuff available. Because we can. So that gets me the fusion gun, which is a Melta with higher range and dodge reduction on it. In case I want to use that on Pascal. Some of the stuff on the Casabellica is kind of weird in the fact of like The hex rifle here is a 66 profit factor, but then you go down here and like tactical boots are 35 profit factor. Kind of weird how it's spaced out like that. But now, when I finish Janus here, oh, and this would get me stuff with the Casabelica. I might do Rose of Zamarkind first, so I can get this replenishing pollen just to sell, because that doesn't knock anything out. Because evidently I don't have the Xenotech for Dark Sages, and this costs a Xenotech. But we can do the Rose, which gets me more Casabelica rank points. So that works. Alright. And then we'll just have to find Xenotech, which I'm sure we can get in multiple ways. Then we did level up. Level 28, 29. That's ridiculous. So let's get our awareness up on the main character. Ballistic skill and perception are maxed out. So let's grab agility on him. Actually, wait. I have a few things that scale off of intelligence, I believe. Heinrix, weapon skill. And then, I suppose he can have coercion. Abelard. Karus is the ability to resist negative effects. So since athletics is maxed out, let's get that on Abelard, because resisting any negative effect on him would be awesome. And since toughness is maxed out, I don't know, because strength is how hard we hit, and I don't think we need... And affects athletics. Okay, that seals the deal. I was going to say, I don't think we need to hit harder, or like lift heavier weapons with him. And weapon skill reduces parry and is better chance at scoring critical hit, but he is my athletics guy, and strength would allow him to do better athletics. Argenta. Agility is max, so let's get her ballistic skill. And she actually gets a common talent. And there's a lot of good ones we can get her. I thought maybe those were just normal talents. So I can take advanced Lore Imperium and then get a failed reroll. Yeah, sure, since she's my Lore Imperium person. Grand Strategist. Fellowship Willpower maxed out. So let's grab Intelligence, since I have a few intelligence-based things. Persuasion is maxed out. She has a high amount and a lot of stats. You can just take Coercion for now. And then Pascal. Ballistic skill and intelligence maxed out. I guess we can take Perception. Affects awareness. Reduces enemy dodge against character attacks. And then... his logic is pretty high, but anything else? Like, no one else in my normal party has Lore Xenos, so we can take that. And then, to top things off here... Actually, we'll start that with next time. No, we'll finish this. And then, to finish things off, we have Heinrix.
To what do I owe this visit?
So, he wanted to talk aboard... He wanted to talk about Kiava Gamma, but you can really do some nasty things about, like, getting rid of Yarlet. Or Idira, wow. So are you satisfied with your mission on Kiava Gamma?
Of course. The Fabricator Sensor's machine was stopped. Not another soul will be sent into the mouth of the archenemy. In time, we will succeed in uncovering and stopping other schemes of the cult.
Okay.
We dealt a blow not only to the cultists, but to the archenemy itself. I cannot help but be pleased.
So what happened when you touched that cognitor?
No servant of the God Emperor has closer dealings with corruption than the agents of the Golden Throne. In its quest to guard the Imperium against its foes' most devious and secret schemes, the Inquisition seeks to understand the essence of evil. It is not enough for us to burn or cut down a rotten seedling. We must study it, understand it, touch it. Every time any of us do our duty, we are risking our very souls. But when it comes to psychers, the soul of a psyker is especially enticing to the archenemy.
Oh. I'm very surprised we got that with like an 18%, by the way.
The cogitator was stopped, yes. I touched an infernal machine that was created to serve chaos. I used it. I delved into the principles of its operation. That was enough. Corruption needs only the briefest brush of contact.
Oh, so you have a seed of chaos in you now?
When I touched the cult's cogitator, I drew the thousand-eye gaze of evil upon myself, as any agent does when they interfere in the schemes of those who serve the ruinous powers. And that evil undoubtedly left an invisible mark upon me, as it does on any acolyte who fights against the archenemy. And this will be the case every time I do my duty. I know a good deal about the fates of those who have served the throne before me. Enough to know that my path leads to one place, and one place only.
Well, that can't be good. So what are you going to do next?
My visit to Kiava Gamma did not produce answers to all my questions, but we did succeed in dealing a blow to the cult by destroying the Fabricator Sensor's machine. I have directed my spies to track the sect's surviving leaders. I am certain that they will have useful information for us soon. Though small, this is a victory for the Golden Throne, and I have you to thank for it.
Well, glad that it worked out. I'm not sure it was worth risking your soul and your psycherness for it, though. But all good. That's it.
Thank you for finding the time for our conversation.
I'll be going now. So that's gonna be it for this time. I think we're done with Kiava Gamma in general. I don't think we can put. Yeah, we can't put anything on it for now. So next time we'll be jumping back and forth. I know I've done a lot of the mini quest stuff, but I want to do as much of the extra stuff by going to some of these unexplored systems as I can before going to the Mundus Valencia system, which is the last of these systems, because I'm not sure what's going to happen after I go there. And I want to do all of the, like, at least companion side quests before we go to that, and then possibly back to Footfall. I'm not sure what, the whole, like, series of events is going to be like. Like, is it just going to be we're going to go to Dargonus, and then next chapter, or what the whole flow of things is going to be, but we'll start making our way towards new systems and towards the Dargonus and go with that, and that'll be the plan. So that'll be it for this time. Like, comment, subscribe, all that YouTube jazz, and otherwise, as always, wish you all well. I will see you next time, and please, have a good one.